We doing Napoleon Hill, Grow Rich with Peace of Mind. We already covered, three chapters so far. Now we're going into chapter 4. I'm going to read just a little bit. It's about 1 a.m, but I did want to make sure to do a reading. We've been on it, consistently almost every day, so we might as well stay consistent. So let's go ahead and get right to it. Chapter 4. When you are free of fear, you are free to live. Free yourself of fear and free yourself of a man-made devil. 7 major fears reinforce each other: the fear of poverty, the fear of criticism, the fear of ill health, the fear of loss of love, the fear of loss of liberty, the fear of old age, the fear of death. Separate your self-made fears from the fears which are necessary for self-preservation. Make way for self-confident faith in yourself, the indispensable ingredient of a life worth living. When you fear something, that thing is more likely to find you and harm you. When you look a threat in the eye and you know you are going to overcome it, that is when the great powers come to your aid. Fear, the most powerful of negative motives, is like prayer in reverse. Instead of appealing to the constructive forces which surround us, it appeals to the forces of destruction. It becomes a god in itself, demanding endless painful sacrifices. People rarely will admit that lives of bitter privation may be founded on nothing more than constant fear, and yet you can see it happen all around you. The first fear I shall mention is a terribly magnetic fear. The more of it you have, the more of it you are likely to attract. Number 1, the fear of poverty. Sorry about that. Now and again, I have had occasion to meet people I knew in my own poverty-stricken youth. Of late, I have been meeting their now-grown children. When I have known both parent and child, I often can trace the persistence of a kind of family fondness for poverty, fearing poverty with good reason, as it ground them down, hating it and protesting it. Such family have nevertheless allowed their negative emotions to dull their wits and cancel their courage. In the greatest nation of the world, a nation that fairly thrives with opportunity, they settle. Sorry about that. I'm trying to get y'all a good camera view. In the greatest nation in the world, a nation that fairly thrives with opportunity, they settle down to live in want. Some member of the family may make some gesture towards lifting himself out of his rut, but it always turns out to be a feeble gesture that lacks follow-through. Perhaps it salves his conscience to have this gesture to point to for the rest of his life. Worse yet, whole families are brought up in belief that God intended them to be poor. Surely it must be the final twist of fear which equates the idea of God with the idea of persecution. To be poor and not to like being poor is a good step towards becoming rich. But put aside your fear of poverty. See it rather as merely that point from which you take off. Let your intimate knowledge of the unwanted condition, Let your intimate knowledge of the unwanted condition become a sustaining force as you drive toward the condition you want, prosperity, even opulence. Let your present necessity for pinching pennies make you aware of the power of money. Let your lack of capital make you aware of the many ways you can make use of other people's money merely by paying them a fair fee for their money's hire. Know that much education is free, that self-education in some fields can be better than school education, that vast stores of information may be used free, that industry and trade stand with open arms to receive the willing worker. Know that economy is so vast and various that any special talent can find the place where it is needed. And our economy is filled with unmet needs, which you can meet. I forbear from giving you a list of the many well-known men who began their lives in poverty. We have met many of them and shall meet others. Cast out fear of poverty and drive ahead. All right, well, we're gonna end the live right there. We're gonna start number 2 tomorrow or later on today. I appreciate y'all for tapping in, man. It's your boy Chuck. We out.